I know. A bit late on this one, I know. But I've had several requests to do a review on this, and I saw Mission Impossible Rogue Nation recently, and I was like, man, I really want to talk about that one. So let's talk about it. So Mission Impossible Rogue Nation is the 5th installment of the Mission Impossible franchise. And it starts off right after where Ghost Protocol ends, in which Ethan Hunt and his team are trying to track down this rogue group called the Syndicate, which acts as this anti-IMF group that's causing all these bad things to happen in the world. And before I get too far into this movie, I want to go back in time and revisit the previous Mission Impossible movies and rank them from least favorite to favorite. Starting with my least favorite, let's talk about Mission Impossible 2. I'm not gonna spend much time on this. I've seen it like twice, and it's got a few redeeming qualities, but all in all, it's just not a very good movie in my opinion. It just felt like the director, John Woo, kind of did what Tim Burton did with Batman Returns, where they just went completely away from what the original was and just made his own thing. At number 3, we got Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. Now this might come as a little bit of a surprise to some people because this was generally viewed by critics and users as a great action spy movie. And I thought it was exactly that for the first 2/3 of the movie. And then it became totally forgettable toward the end. I actually have watched this about 5 or 6 times now, and I found that ever since the first time I saw the movie, I never watch after the Dubai scene. I just don't need to see the rest of the movie. Especially because the villain was the weakest villain of the whole franchise. It just was, again, completely forgettable. But what happens in Dubai is incredible. I mean, it's probably the best action sequence and action set piece of the entire franchise. On to number 2, we got Brian De Palma's Mission Impossible. This one's the most traditional spy action thriller of the bunch, and in its own way, it's actually kind of the most unique. In my opinion, it's the best directed out of all the Mission Impossible movies. However, it does get a little convoluted at times. It feels a little overly long, which is kind of surprising because it's actually just shy of 2 hours, but it feels like a 2.5 hour long movie to me. And even almost 2 decades later, the movie still holds up. And I actually think this movie gets a bad rap sometimes. The people I've talked to that are my age don't like this movie, and I'm like, you guys need to go back and revisit this. I understand if you watched it at a younger age and you didn't really appreciate it as much. It's a little bit slower, a little bit more complex, I get it. Go revisit it now. I think you're gonna appreciate it a lot more. This movie is an awesome movie. And without including Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, my favorite Mission Impossible movie is none other than Mission Impossible 3. For whatever reason, with J.J. Abrams' Mission Impossible 3, the stars aligned for some reason because I absolutely adore this movie. It revived the franchise. It gave Ethan Hunt's character more dimension by including a love interest that actually worked in my opinion. And it easily had the best villain in the franchise, played by the late Philip Seymour Hoffman. He is so freaking scary and dangerous in this movie. This guy is relentless. You don't want to mess with this guy. It has some great acting talent added to the movie and in some cases to the series, including Simon Pegg, Michelle Monaghan, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Billy Crudup, and Lawrence Fishburne. And in my opinion, this movie has collectively more adrenaline-fueled and intense action scenes than any other movie in the franchise. I mean, there's the warehouse scene, the bridge scene, that part where Tom Cruise is just running for like 4 or 5 miles down some river in like Japan or wherever they are. I mean, like, it sounds silly, but it's awesome. I mean, it is so thrilling to watch. And some of the thrilling, dramatic sequences in this movie are just so suspenseful. You got that scene with Philip Seymour Hoffman and Ethan Hunt having a pretty hostile conversation in a cargo bay of an airplane, and Billy Crudup's character helping Ethan get out of a tight situation in an elevator. Oh yeah, and this little number.
Are you listening to me? The only way you're gonna get what you want is for you to... You think I'm playing? You think I'm playing? You don't think I'll do it? Where is it? Where the hell is it? Look at me. Where the hell is it? Look at me. Stay with me. 7! 7! Kill you. I'm gonna kill you. I swear to God, I'm gonna kill you. 8!
Whoa. And because I did see Mission Impossible 3 twice in theaters, I have to give it a 4.5 out of 5. You can check out my grading scale in the description box below. And as I've come to be aware of, I have to have this little asterisk moment that says that this is my list, okay? This is just all film is subjective. I'm not saying this should be your list, I'm just saying this is my list. So that's my ranked list of the Mission Impossible series from the original to Ghost Protocol, but it's about time we get back to this movie, right? I mean, that's what we're here for. So I can honestly say that Mission Impossible Rogue Nation was everything I wanted Ghost Protocol to be. However, I still like the third one more. I like the third one more. I just like the third one more. I don't know what it is about the third movie. I just love that movie. This one's right under it though. Right there. Right there. And I mean it. Prior to seeing this movie, if Ghost Protocol was your favorite of the franchise, this is bound to be your new favorite of the franchise because this is just an improvement on Ghost Protocol. And as I said earlier, I had two main problems with Ghost Protocol that really ruined the movie for me, being that the third act was so forgettable, and so was the villain, and this movie solved both those problems for me. The third act is great, I'll get into that later, but the villain was very serviceable. He's not as good as Philip Seymour Hoffman's character, but he's a step up from the Ghost Protocol villain, which is great. It's upward trajectory, that's what we want to see. This movie also solidified the Ethan Hunt IMF team moving forward, and I loved seeing that, especially with Simon Pegg. He really had a ton of character development in this, and I was so happy to see that because his character has so much potential, and I really feel like they fulfilled the potential that was there. And as sad as I was not to see Lawrence Fishburne appear throughout the rest of the series, if I had to choose someone to replace him, it would probably be J.K. Simmons or Alec Baldwin, and we got him. So that was a great addition to the movie. And we got to talk about Rebecca Ferguson. I mean, she is, look, I'll be the first to say, she's stunning. She is so beautiful. And she's sexy as hell in this movie too. But she is a badass. And she's funny, she's cute, but she's got great acting chops. You can tell this is an actress. Like this isn't just someone who's a really good fighter. This isn't Ronda Rousey. This is an actress. Look, why was she not cast for Wonder Woman? Look, here's the thing. Gal Gadot might surprise us all, and I would love for that to happen. I hope to God she does, because she is our Wonder Woman. I hope she kills it. I hope she knocks it out of the park and we go, man, we were stupid for ever doubting her. But I've seen Rebecca Ferguson kick ass on screen and bring acting chops, true acting chops. She's perfect. Just dye her hair black, get her in the gym with Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck, and for 6 months she'll throw on a few pounds of muscle. She's perfect for Wonder Woman. I'm done. I don't get it. She's so good in this. It just feels like a lost opportunity. That's all. But hey, Gal Gadot, prove us wrong. By the way, this movie's got like the 3 coolest guns since, I don't know, like Gary Oldman's gun in The Fifth Element. 3 different spies have to sneak in these guns, and they do it in like the most creative, cool way. They do it using like a part of a railing or something. I can't remember what it was, but another one's a flute, and then another one's a nightstick, and you get to see them like just take it all apart and then turn it into a sniper rifle. And I was just like, I want the flute sniper rifle. I want all of those, not to like use, just to have and put on like the wall, like right there. That's actually where I want them. This movie also has some really cool Easter eggs to previous films, including a reference to what happened to the Kremlin in Ghost Protocol, and the use of Ethan's codename, Bravo Echo 11, which is used in the first Mission Impossible movie. There's a couple other Easter eggs that I can't remember, but I remember seeing them and I was like, oh yeah, that was in these other movies, and it made me feel like the series was more connected by referencing these little Easter eggs in the other movies. And man, I see exactly why they put the airplane shot, that whole sequence, in the trailers, because you go into the movie thinking, oh man, that's gonna be the biggest part of the movie. That's gonna be the biggest action sequence. I can't wait to see it. It comes sooner than you expect, and no, it's not the biggest action scene. There's other things that are bigger and better, including this scene. This is probably the best motorcycle chase scene I have ever seen. If any reason, because they actually got on motorcycles and filmed this. Like, it's insane. It's nuts. I don't know how they did it. The stunt coordinator apparently told Simon Pegg that Tom Cruise was going to do all his own driving because he didn't have any other stunt driver better than him. And in one of the more climactic moments with Simon Pegg and Rebecca Ferguson and Tom Cruise, they're sitting at a table and they're kind of stuck. The bad guys kind of got them. It was very reminiscent of the first main mission that they went through in the first Mission Impossible movie, and I really liked seeing that. It just harkened back to it. It felt like the best of both worlds, where you had the big epic action stuff going on in this movie, but you also had the real spy action thriller part that made the first movie so unique and so suspenseful. I don't have a ton of negatives to say other than that the movie really gets going quickly. I think after seeing it like the second time, like it won't bother me as much, but this time I was just kind of like, whoa, slow down, hold on, I'm playing catch up here. But I got a sense of what was going on. It wasn't a problem the rest of the movie. But there is one real bad CGI scene where a car is flipping over and over again. That was embarrassing. I don't know in what world they think a car flips over like that. And I don't normally complain about product placement, but damn. Product placement. Whew. Not subtle. And while the final scene was kind of fun to watch, it felt more like an after credits scene, and it left me kind of going like, well, where is everybody? And because they developed these characters so well and this team, and there's a really great structure and foundation moving forward for this franchise, I just wish I had a better idea of where the hell this thing was going. But all in all, guys, I thought this was a great fifth installment to the Mission Impossible franchise, and I cannot wait to see what they do with this moving forward. And I'm definitely buying this on Blu-ray whenever it comes out. Because of that, I got to give Mission Impossible Rogue Nation a strong 4 out of 5. Anyways, guys, those are my thoughts. Take it or leave it. But what do you guys think? Have you seen Rogue Nation yet? Do you like it? Not like it? Regardless if you saw it, go down in the comments section and give me your list of Mission Impossible movies. You rank them. And thanks so much, guys, for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you like this, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. That way you'll get notifications when I come out with my weekly movie reviews, so we can do this again soon. I'll check you later.
Check you later. Check you later.
Hey, man, get off my case.
Oh, man. Chicks don't want to hear that shit.